To go live. There we go. Now we're live. Let's do this. Oh, I lost the screen. Hello, everybody loves Raymond 360. Tom Caltabiano here, looking around, looking at all things, wearing my, here we go. It's in solidarity with the New York Mets, who were, what is the word? Stink. They stink. And so they didn't make the finals. I mean, the playoffs even. So for those of you in another country, this is Tom Caltabiano. I'm talking all things Evers Raymond. The New York Mets were on the show. The playoff season has started in America for baseball. That will culminate in the World Series, played by only American teams. So a little bit of a cheat there versus the World Cup. How are we doing? Yeah. How's the sound on everything else? Here we go. Let's go back to this. I have to hit another button. That's the problem. Let's do this. Bear with me, Instagram people who don't even know I'm talking to them. Enjoy my singing. Okay, I'm going to close that window. Oh, let's look down here. That's probably here, and there we go. There we go, now live. Should be super loud after the thing. Okay, now there we go. So much to talk about today. Let's say hi to a few people, because that's what we do here. So much to talk about every week. Let's see. A little hot. Okay, yes, let's do this. Let's turn that down a little. Let's turn that down a little. Let's turn that down a little. Maybe that's better. You guys can ring in and let me know. Oh, I see. Yes. So this is post-processing mix going to the feed. Okay. Means nothing to you guys, but it just tells me that I can adjust it very easily. Let me just do that. Okay. Hello, Gil. Hello, Janet. Hello, Thomas. Excellent name, Thomas. Hello, Kim. Yes, you came here to hear about Evers Raymond, and we had the official announcement. Hi, Deb, Tucker, Frank. Tom, how did you do with your camera and your laptop? Oh, you know what? Can I just show you guys something? So, for those of you that missed last week's soap opera, about 2 months ago, I placed my beloved new but used D850, Nikon D850 to shoot negatives for you guys to share, those scans, those things. So the things that I share that look like, let's see, let's pull this phone here, and I'll show you guys what I mean. So this is a loop. This is me shooting with my iPhone, holding a loop up to a proof sheet. And that looks pretty good. But then I scan them by hand, and they end up being this, an amazing image scan. So I have a Nikon D850, which is super high file size. Bear with me, non-camera people. And I was like, oh, I bought it used from some charity, and I was so excited. And then and I used it, and I loved it. And then about a month later, I placed it on top of a soft cooler. And in the morning, I said, oh, that's weird. My strap is there, but the camera's gone because it had sunk into 5 inches of ice cold fresh water, which helped, it made the camera more edible, but it did not do good for the inside. So that is broken, and I have to drive to Nikon, which is a bit of a haul. I could send it to. And then this is another great lens of mine, but let's see, what does it show? I don't think you can see it. Yeah, it's not going to focus on there. There we go. Do you see that little crack? That nice little crack? That's just a lens clear filter, but nonetheless, it's not great for photography. So that's this really special portrait lens, which I use when I see a lot of people. Then look at that crack, right? Do we see a pattern of cracking? And I cannot physically get it off of the camera, so I have to go to Nikon to bring that. This one's really dented. This one took a fall. And so off of Deb's question, I haven't had time to drive down to Nikon. I have an incredibly full schedule. And now that the special, which we'll talk about, is coming up, hopefully this week. And then my laptop, I think Tuesday, I bring it in, which is sad because my MacBook Pro laptop, where I look at the photos, somehow cracked. The screen cracked, and so I'm looking at you guys with a lot of vertical lines. Maybe I'll post what I see. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to post what I see. And then I feel like I might be fighting a cold as well. So things are stacking up, as they say. Excellent questions. But I was debating not coming on today, but I feel like there's a lot to share about the special, et cetera. There, here, let me smile. Let me smile for the camera because people, you look sad otherwise. Ready? Here we go. Where's the camera? Oh, there it is. Okay. I'll share that and you'll see the vertical lines running through. Okay. So I think Tuesday I will see, but the sad thing was I put in the serial number. It's called an M3 chip. Folks, they're only on like the M4 or M5 maybe, so it's not an antique computer. And they said, put in your serial number and we'll see what you get as a trade-in. I think it cost $1,100 4 months ago. They will give me $195 trade-in value for it. So I may be looking at a screen, bad screen for a while. Okay, let me scroll down. Let me catch up on some questions. Oh, you know what I do have? Let me pull this. So here, do you guys know this? Because I don't. Here's a little inside show business Hollywood. I'll get to all your hellos real quickly, but I have to do this. So this is a fancy schmancy tea, okay? So now let me know if anybody has ever anybody here has ever heard of Tea Forte. So this, folks, was in Raymond's gift basket for the Emmys. I'm hesitating because it was actually a wagon. It was a wheeled wagon. And he said, do you want some tea? And I said, sure, I'll take it. So they come in these little individually wrapped things. Look at this. This is as fancy as it gets. I know you would prefer something in a Lipton, but this is, now if you're British, I assume maybe you know this. I don't know. Where's this company based? Tea Forte. But here's the cool thing. When you put it in your tea, there's a little flag. Come on, Phil. Yeah. So there is Phil, and there is my little, I don't know, it's like a little, there you go, a little beautiful satchel. Feels like it should be in a jewelry store. Okay, let me put it here. I don't know what the flavor was. Let's see. Super delicious. Okay, super delicious. All right, let's say hello to some people. Hi, Mona. Big post there, Mona. Hi, Tom. Everybody, well, here, let me grab my phone here. Okay, sorry, folks. I think I dropped my phone 6 to 7 times an hour. Hi, Tom. Everybody will know me. I'm in and out. I have to feed a little dog. Just for your information, October 13th is Canadian Thanksgiving. We are having very hot weather here in Montreal. It is 84 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels like 92. Okay. Is it a big celebration in Canada? Canadian Thanksgiving? And again, I am American, so I'm allowed to be completely ignorant of other cultures. But yes, I have been to a couple of Canadian transplant homes who celebrate Canadian Thanksgiving. So I will when is the 13th? We'll do something special. Is today the 13th? No. Okay, let's scroll down. Hi, Paula. Hi, Karen Jack. How am I doing today? Jamie Norwood, very well. Aloha. Yes, aloha, Bobby. Okay, so let's get right. Let me scroll down. Lots of holes. I keep thinking of Ray in the tea room asking for Lipton. Yes. Let's see. Never heard of it, but have you ever tried Yogi kombucha tea? I drink 1/2 a bottle. You better watch your intake. The cold ones that I buy at the grocery store every day, 1/2 a bottle. Yes. It's not so flavorful, right? It's terrible and good for you, which is, Hi, Maureen Schmidt. Okay, let's bring this up. So I give an option. Hi, watching ELR nightly as usual. I noticed for the first time, going from one episode to another, the exterior paint color changed on the house that was used for the exterior shot. Do you know if that was prompted, that's what prompted the Frank Paints the House episode? Frank Paints the House was pitched by Scott Buck, I believe, who's an outside writer. So I don't know that that triggered it because a lot of times the outside writers, not saying this about Scott Buck, would not watch the show. Now, back then, they would watch the show, but if they missed it, they missed it. So it wasn't like now where you go, let me watch every single episode in one night. And so I don't know. Good question. And I don't know that they didn't change the paint color in post, as they say. Not as easy as it is now, where you could do a lot of stuff, but it's definitely easier than it was. Okay, let's scroll down. Questions. Let's see. Yes. Hi, Annabelle. Maybe you know the answer to that. Was show required to use a certain number of scripts from outside writers? Yes. I think the Writers Guild made it that you had to do 2 scripts from outside writers, and which was good because otherwise who would ever get a chance to write a script? So a lot of outside writers. And I talked to Steve Scrovan recently. He'll be a guest here about the Canister episode because it was his friend who pitched the show, and he was, I think, working on a spec script, as they say, and the Canister ended up becoming an actual episode. Okay, let's look at Instagram. Catch up on Instagram. Fast and Furious. Look at that. Look at all of those people. Okay, let's see this. Laying here now before bed, watching Raymond like I do every night from London. Yes, that makes sense, because if it was Los Angeles, it would be 2:30 in the afternoon. Hi, Tom. I saw Phil was at Al's Beef in Chicago, 2 blocks from Tofano's. Is that true? You didn't know? I mean, I know it's true that he was there. I didn't know it was that close to Tofano's. Teresa from Chicago, I'm sorry about the start of the Chicago Cubs postseason record, which I believe is 0-1. I don't want to run salt in the wound. After all, the Mets did not make it at all, so you can thumb your nose at me. But I would rather the Cubs win than the dreaded Milwaukee Brewers. Hi, Leo. Tom. Now, the Instagram questions I can't bring up, just so you know. Tom, from Leo, will you have any input into the ELR reunion? Maybe offer up questions from our fans from the podcast. So, yes, I will definitely have a chance to... the reason I'm thinking is it's kind of up in the air. Like there's a basic structure that I actually know about because I went over the structure last year with Raymond and Phil Rosenthal, and so I just don't know. I don't know. I think that it's still in flux, believe it or not. But what I did find out is they're using an audience company, a company to get the live audience. It's going to seat 120 people. And they're trying to get super fans. Now, I'd like to say that if you slip me a $100 bill, I can get you a seat, but I can't. And I'm not saying 200 will help, but it sure would make it closer to possible. So in all seriousness, I'm going to see if I can find out if there's a way to submit your name to the audience. And I don't know what it's called. It used to be called Audiences Unlimited, but I have a feeling after COVID, they kind of went out of business because there was no live shows went away. So, but I will share everything I know. And so trivia questions, yes, I think, when we did the Peter Boyle benefit, Lorraine Boyle arranged it. I read questions. I, hosted the Q&A on this live Zoom at the height of COVID. And I read questions that you guys submitted. So, yeah, I think we are going to want to go to you guys for questions. So there you go. And I do know, so folks, if you're going to try and make it to the live filming in Los Angeles, it happens on October 18th. The live filming happens on October 18th. And it is definitely not something you can show up at the door for, but if the audience company accepts your name, just know it's Los Angeles, October 18th. So if you are dreaming about it and you're like, but I can't afford to go to Los Angeles, then you'll have to watch like the rest of us on the television set. And also, just to clarify for everybody, let me take a sip of tea from Phil. So this is Phil's mug from his show. We all know his show, right? Somebody Feed Phil. I think he's in season 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. Okay, there we go. Life is short. Eat with your mouth full. There we go. Okay, so where was I? The reunion show. So I'm reading Phil Ray also. There's a lot of anger because people don't understand that it's reminiscing about the show with the cast. It's not a reboot of the show. So when people are yelling at you and how could it continue without Frank and Marie, and a couple of people have pointed out great things like, do you stop having family reunions when the grandfather dies? Is like, are you like, this is so disrespectful to honor their memory? How dare we? So I know most of you are like, okay, I get it, but pass that on or not. I do know it will air on CBS and I think Paramount Plus, a network show. I think we can talk about a watch party if I can facilitate it, that we all watch it the same night. I don't know if that's possible because I don't know if I'm going to have other obligations. But let me know if you guys would want to watch because there's also does that take away, we could watch a rerun together of it, maybe. Well, it's all open. So let me know what you guys think you would like to do for the airing on November 24th. Okay. Hi, Gary. We filmed on Soundstage 5 at the Warner Brothers lot. Did the cast hang out at the Smokehouse restaurant? That is a very, very famous restaurant, an old restaurant from, I'm going to say 1946, maybe 47, somewhere in there. Old red booth, one of my favorite places. And the answer is no. The cast of Everest Raymond did not hang out at the Smokehouse. George Clooney hung out at the Smokehouse. And I think his production company is named Smokehouse Productions. It's a great old place. If you're in Los Angeles, it's right across from Warner Brothers. I recommend you go. Now, it's very odd why we didn't go there, but the first season we went to a place called Pinot Hollywood, because we filmed at Hollywood Center Studios. And Pinot Hollywood was next to, believe it or not, another studio, Sunset Gower, which I think has been renamed. But it used to be Columbia Pictures with Harry Cohn. And we would go there because the show was probably going to get canceled. So we would all go and drink and hang out and talk. Not Peter Boyle. Peter Boyle didn't drink. Smoke cigars. Brad Garrett used to show up with cigars. And then season 2, we still went to Pinot Hollywood, which was down in Hollywood. And so we drove right past the Smokehouse, which you could walk to, and went to Pinot Hollywood. And then by season, because I remember we drank with the New York Mets with Jerry Grody and Bud Harrelson and Peter Boyle. Peter did not drink at the bar at Pinot Hollywood. So when was that? Was that season 2 or 3? Big Shots. So we were still going there then. So in 100 years, if people will go, I bet you they went to the Smokehouse because it's convenient. We did not. For whatever reason, we did not. And then there was a really, really bad dive bar, which is no longer there. The structure is there, and it was called Chow Christine, something like that. And so we did go there to sing karaoke. That's right across the street from Everest Raymond. So the circuitous route of drinking and celebrating afterwards was not what you would predict. Okay, let's go back to StreamYard. Okay, StreamYard, where is StreamYard? Here. Okay, that's my shopping list. How to find your product. Yes, StreamYard. Okay, there we go. All right, let's catch up on these. Hello, all these familiar faces. Hi, Donnell. Let's do this. Latest, greatest. Donnell, our trusted resource in Texas. Look into the watch party options like Teleparty or Flick Call. They will provide you a link you can send out to us, and it has chat options too. Just check they work for international viewers. Just make sure. Very, Donnell, extremely considerate of you to think that. But thank you. We will write that down. I'll take a screen grab, even though they don't go away. When we go, hi, Deb. With the passing of Peter Doris, how do the writers and producers feel the special would have different if they were still with them? If Doris and Peter were still around, they just would have. So I think what the structure of the show is going to be is Ray and Phil coming out and reminiscing about their favorite. I'm just I'm not going to give away anything, but that's the bones of it. Ray and Phil coming out, reminiscing about their favorite episodes, telling about the beginning of the show, and then each cast member, Brad Garrett, Patricia Heaton, Monica Horan, talking about their favorite moments. So now we'll be talking about our favorite Doris Peter moments and stories, and back then it would be Doris and Peter telling their favorite episodes. So that's the only difference that you'll see in the actual broadcast, having Peter or not Peter, and of course one of the Sweeten twins, who, they were so small during the show. So I don't know, other than seeing them scripted, it's not like you saw them on interviews, etc. Excellent question. Good evening, Anne-Marie. Yes, Maureen, the live will be taped later this month and will air November 24th. Yes. Okay, so now watch party. Yes, a watch party. Karen Edwards, it's going to be past your bedtime. Yes, at the filming. So my only reason of the night of it, when it airs November 24th, is there might be a get-together with people, with Ray and stuff. I don't know. So that's why I'm just saying, because I think once it streams. So not sure what that loud noise was. I don't know that I need it, though. I can't believe how many people are thinking this is a reboot. Hi, Lisa. Let me bring your thing up. I can't believe how many people are thinking this is a reboot. I must have corrected 100 people this past weekend. So thank you for that, Lisa. And also, I don't know whether it's people don't read. They make assumptions. It's so interesting. It's very interesting. It was like the loudest pen, I think. It's very interesting. I don't know why, and I don't know why they're so angry, because let's face it, Frasier was a spin-off of Cheers. So Frasier didn't have everybody in Cheers. And so, yes, I know it's different when somebody passes, and Woody Harrelson, for example, took over for Coach, but I don't know where the anger comes from. I guess it's respect or something, but yes, I don't quite understand it. So, and here's a little piece of trivia. Peter Boyle's birthday is on October 18th. So the day that it will film is the day of his birthday. Let's see. Hi, Karen. Let's see this. Sorry, this is me editing as I go past all of these questions. Okay. A watch party with chocolate cake. The chocolate cake comes a lot, and we think we found the woman that made it for Rhonda. They called it Rhonda's Cake. Rhonda, the head of props. And so we think we've narrowed it down. The bakery's closed. The woman is no longer in the baking business, but we need to see if she's willing to bake the cake. And I don't know her. I never met her. Rhonda knows her. You never know with people. They might be like, sure, I will do it for $100,000, or this would be fun. So that would be great. That is our goal, whether we do a special or not. All right. The museum, the Long Island Museum. So it's in Stony Brook, Long Island, and the exhibit will be living on in a different iteration at the Long Island Museum in Stony Brook, Long Island. And I think they're planning on opening the exhibit November 25th, like the day after the Raymond special, something like that. But I'll get you the exact date. So for those of you that are like, it should be traveling, it should be this, all great ideas. But somebody has to pay for it to be a traveling exhibit. So you need somebody to underwrite it, or somebody has to know that they can make money doing it. So the one in Long Island will be, I think it'll be up for a year. So you have a year to go out there, and you could always see the exteriors of the actual houses that they show during the beginning of the show. It's called an establishing shot. That is in Merrick, Long Island. And if you do go, do not annoy the neighbors. That is what you do. Hi, Bob. The venue for October 18th is a soundstage in Los Angeles. So soundstage in Los Angeles, October 18th, 120 audience members. There's an audience company that's gathering the audience members. So I will get that information. I know that it's going to be a very, very hot ticket. So I don't know how they're going to choose, whether it's a lottery. I hinted at payola coming my way, and that is completely a joke. I wish I had. some say in that and could get you guys in. But it also, I'm going to share this with you. It's not going to be like a filming of an Edwards Raymond episode, where an Edwards Raymond episode is a smooth running play that you see from beginning to end. This will be more like a talk show that starts and stops. And I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm just saying it's, it's figuring out as it goes. And, but I'm sure Mark Sweet, the warm-up guy, will be there. And maybe if I'm allowed, I'll even say hi to the audience. So there we go. Yes, keep us posted with the watch party and the chocolate cake. My mom made a great cake, and I do nowadays. I hope I make it to the Stony Brook location. Ellen, where are you? You have a year to get there. So the watch party, I think what we're going to do then is we're going to vote on a date to watch it together. If it's not the 24th, then, Thanksgiving is such a busy time. So if it's not the 24th, we'll figure out another time that works out for you guys. And again, for those of you that didn't miss or missed the beginning, I'm drinking from Phil Rosenthal's cup here. Oh, I have some cappuccino too. There we go. That's a great shot of Phil. I do want to talk about the car for a second. And I'm drinking this that was in Ray Romano's gift basket. And he said, Tom, I'm not a big tea drinker. I'm a zero tea drinker. Why don't you take this and share it with your audience as you break into this fancy jewelry case of tea, okay? So for those of you that are screaming, save the environment, I have no say in this company, but it is exquisite, and some things are worth indulging in. I'm ending that with preposition. Okay, so now I do want to clear up just for this. We've talked about it many times, but as I've said, I think we have 20,000 new followers from when we start, well, in the past 5 months, maybe 8 months, something like that, 20,000 new people. So I just wanted to say when I post these pictures, and I kind of, let me go to Facebook because that'll be the better way to do this, click that, get rid of that screen, do that. That's me talking. So these, I just wanted to say, thank you for these fans who drove, come on. These fans who drove to from New Jersey to the New York City exhibit. And the guy, even though he looks like he's maybe in the middle of a depression there, was so excited to share that he and his brother had the same relationship as on the show. And he was going on and on in a good way about how comparable the show was to his real life. And so we grabbed a picture. And I just want to thank all the fans that came out, which was very nice. Okay, this is the luxury of having me here. If you see, that's Phil Rosenthal giving notes during Sister-in-Law. In the back, in the black shirt with the blonde hair, is Gary Halverson, director. Tucker Cawley with his hand. I can't tell. Is his hand on his face? I don't know. Behind him is Mike Royce. On the lower right is Steve Scrovan. You can barely see his face with a beard. And Deborah said that he looked like a TV star. And yes, Steve is known to be a handsome fellow, and he does look similar to the person that you pointed out, who I can't remember, Jeremy Stevens, with his red hat looking down. Okay, so this is a rehearsal. They're in street clothes. Ray is sitting a little bit like a monkey on the chair. I know that those are special chairs. The diamond cutout shape is fairly unique for those chairs. That table and chairs are in Phil Rosenthal's house under armed guard with laser beams and everything all around it. So there you go. That's a little more explanation than when I type. And then let's do this. So I circled this for people who are having trouble seeing, and that the whole idea was to hide it from the television audience. So of course, okay, I have to get my, okay. So there it is. There's the pulley device. It's fastened to something on the floor. The entire floor, the floors on the sound stages are amazing. Pieces come out, and it's almost like fake trap doors everywhere. Not when you're walking, you wouldn't notice it, but when the grips have to do something, they are able to do it in a very stable and safe way, which is a very important thing. Okay, so that explains a couple of the photos. I love that. I love explaining the photos. And of course, let me see. Is that map around? I think it is. Here it is. I got it. Yes. So here you go, live. So this was a map. So when I met TV's Ray Romano, as I make fun of it, I always say that for some reason. Let's see what the price is on this antique. $3.95. Okay, so for anybody that lives in Connecticut, New York, or New Jersey, this is the 75-mile radius map. I would have this, I don't like to name drop, but I would have this in my 1988 light blue Plymouth Horizon when I was doing stand-up, when Ray and I would do a lot of stand-up together. And when people go, well, why don't you just have a map of New Jersey? I don't know why this person this imaginary person is so angry, but why don't you just have a map of New Jersey or a map of New York or a map of Connecticut? Because New Jersey is a very long state. Connecticut's a long state. New York is an enormous state. You don't drive 90% of the map coverage. You drive in a radius. So let me see. Opening this for the first time. This is not the one from the show. We might have one from the show. Okay. So, okay. Here we go. Sorry. Audio is going to be tough. Let me pull this mic here. Okay. So there you go. Concentric circles from Columbus Circle heading out. So you can, I'm going to go real close. The beauty of this Sony FX30. So you can see those lines which show the mileage. And there, let me see if I can, I don't think I can see Stony Brook. Only because I can't see the screen when I hold up the map. But Stony Brook is out there. Merrick is out there. Stony Brook is probably, here, I'm gonna get this for you guys. So I think what we're illustrating is how good it is to have a digital map where you don't have to make a lot of noise and annoy people. So let's see, Stony Brook, let me hold it, let me get it focused. I guarantee you Stony Brook is somewhere there. And for those who know Long Island, you're screaming at the screen, going, Tom, it's right in front of you. How do you not see? Okay, hold on. Hold on, everybody. So that was the first script that Raymond and I wrote together. It was the season 1 finale, and Patricia Heaton was pregnant. Okay, so there we go. The concentric circle map. Good old days. Okay, just gonna put that aside there. But you lived by that map. That was a great map to figure out where are you going, where have you been, what is going on, etc. So that was in the Why Are We Here episode, which was the season 1 finale. Patricia Heaton, as I said, very pregnant. First episode that Raymond and I wrote together. Excellent guests, everybody. Yes, Bob Silva. Let me just put it up because that's good, Bob. Let me just bring this cursor here. How are your folding skills? And you can see, not good is the answer. Anne Marie on the North Shore. Actually, I'm from Long Island. There's a school there. Yes, SUNY, State University of New York, Stony Brook. So there you go. Let's see. I'm from Lindenhurst. I'm from Lindenhurst, South Shore, Long Island, Stony Brook North. Yes, yes. Hi, May May. Did someone write that? There is no reboot. It's a reunion show altogether. So let me just bring that up again because what I want to do is see if you guys can guess. And this has become one of our more popular features. Guess the wardrobe script. Well, Tom, why don't you show us the cover? Because then you would know the answer. Phil tried to sell a sequel, a spinoff to Errol's Raymond featuring Robert, Amy, Fred Willard, Georgia Angle, Chris Elliott. All, let me see, what are they? Exceptionally funny people in a proven series. And the network said, no, thank you. There is the door. Don't hit us with these boring older show ideas with older people who are not beautiful in their 30s. So that went away at the time. So just so you know, this is going to be a reunion show. Here's how I express it. It's kind of like what I do every Sunday, only with all of the stars and without me. That's kind of the selling point of the show. Yes, so I'm being half funny here, but that's what it is. It's like Patty, everybody from the cast has joined me here to reminisce, and this is just that same thing with a lot more money behind it and a lot of clips, etc. So there you go. But I think you're never going to be able to beat the people who are saying it. I mentioned before that my husband Bob drew a very similar red circle on a similar map for the very same reason. In 1988, we were moving for a new job of his, and he did not want to be anywhere near his parents. So Karen, Bob, who I met, a very nice guy. I think you guys make a good match, although maybe you're out of his league. Do I have to say that? That's purely a joke, Karen. It's meant to be a compliment to you. He comes, I know he went to Hofstra too, right? So he comes from an Italian household, right? So an Italian, overbearing Italian mother. It makes sense. Okay. Bob doesn't have to hear this. You can soothe his ego. Sometimes it literally felt like the writers knew us and were writing about our half Italian, half Jewish wedding. Yeah, family. Yeah, that was Phil and Ray. So that was very much the thing. Okay, let's look at, and for those of you just joining, Tom Caltabino here, writer on Everybody's Raymond. We have been joining you guys for 5 years. Every single Sunday, I have spent an hour with you guys to answer questions about Everybody's Raymond, which only grows in popularity, which is phenomenal. So, the reunion special films October 18th in Los Angeles. The production company that did, so here, this is for Gil and Karen. It is a British production company that will be making the special. And they decide through an audience company who gets to watch, who's in the 120-seat audience. I will try and get the information. I will get the information. I don't know how they go about selecting them. I've made it clear that I have a lot of super fans here, and that we need. Right now, I think we have 64,000 followers. So if they could do it in a 64,000 seat arena, that would be great. Okay, now let's just do this. So I'm going to give a hint right away. The episode was written by Jeremy Stevens. Oh boy, this is going to be easy. This is going to be, wow. Okay, yep. So let me show the Frank pic, because Ray's shirt will give it away. Okay, here's a hard clue. Frank Peter Boyle dressed in what? A vest, a shirt, and pants. Okay, that narrows it down to 204 episodes. All right, so this one, let me see, what is the name of this episode again? Yeah, okay. So this one, okay, that's a giveaway. This one will not be a giveaway. Here we go. Frank. There you go. Okay. Let me just get rid of that. Yes. Hi, Ellen. When will you have people from the cast come on with you? Again. When will I have them come on again? So Patty was, I think, the first one. Maybe Raymond a couple times. Brad Garrett. Alex Meneses, Stefania. She was on a few times. I asked her every week for 2 years, and she finally came on. Okay, that's going to give it away for people. This is a great one, folks. Okay, here we go. I'm going to see if there's any guesses yet. Oh, boy. It's such unique outfits from this episode. That's why it's awesome. Okay, here we go. Marie, and I guess, and we've all had the conversation about her makeup being too white the first season, second season, third season, and fourth season. Okay, Doris Roberts. Okay, let's see if we have any guesses yet. The skit, Kathy, where his license was taken away. How about the gift? Ooh, 120 seats, or maybe we can have a fan get together the same weekend as the filming and invite any cast who would like to meet us. I can tell you, Annabelle, that is a great idea, and I can tell you that the cast will be crazy busy then that weekend. That is a great idea. I sit in the evening and watch all the old lives, as I've only discovered these in the last few months. Love my evening viewing. Oh, Marie, that's very nice of you. I will try and make it more entertaining from now on. Marie gives the oh wow, this has been a tough one. Marie gives the things away. Karen, okay, Bob often says the same thing, so I'm off the hook. That you are out of his league. Okay, very good then. He had a good energy about him, which means he had a good sense of humor. Okay, let's show another picture. So for those of you that have never heard me before, I rescued 210, 209, 208 episodes from the dumpster that had a Polaroid picture of every single wardrobe change from every single season. And so here we go. So far, 0 correct guesses. Now, I'm deliberately not showing you photos, which will give it away. I love the old stove. Madeline Sweeten there, posing. Okay, your place or mine? Who might have guessed that? Who guessed that? Thomas Gerard guessed your place or mine. Okay, Thomas, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to show you the rest of the people. This is the first photo that I had to skip past. Okay. There's Raymond in this episode. So it's such a bizarrely iconic, identifiable. Okay. That one I skipped because that's a tell right there. Different blanket, I noticed. Different. Okay, this one will. So, had I shown this one, let me see. Okay, Karen, that's a great comment. I will get you. Had I showed you this one, well, the jig would have been up. There you go. Frank and Marie. There you go. Your place or mine. Excellent guess. And let me see another one. So Patty's shirt and then Brad's shirt. I don't know why I remember your place or mine. I have a couple photos from that. They're very noticeable outfits. And Patty Heaton. God, I love these photos. Patty Heaton trying to multitask, looking at somebody else, showing her nails to wardrobe department, etc. So there we go. And let's see, does Doris, Doris, oh, stay on the mic. Doris's brooch, for those of you that like Doris's brooches. I know there's a whole subculture out there who like Doris's brooches. There's copious notes. I try and post these pictures as well. Yeah, so there you go. This would have been easy to guess. Okay. Had I shown your place or mine, written by Jeremy Stevens, who was wearing the red shirt, directed by Howard Storm, September 18th, 1996. One of the early episodes. All right, let's catch up on some Instagram questions. I think I've really brought you guys up to speed. I appreciate all of your patience here. Karen, I want to get back to your comment. So let me see this. Okay, here we go. Let me move this away from my cracked screen. Okay. And we appreciate all that you do for us. Thank you so much. I enjoy every Sunday. Well, thank you, Alfred. That is very nice of you to say that. Okay, let's do this. Yes, tell us more about your stand-up. Interesting. Good to see you, Tom. Jerry Zaks. Is that the real Jerry Zaks or just somebody that's trying to coat-tail ride on a famous director? I don't know. Good to see you as well, Jerry Zaks. I don't know how long you stayed on here, but good to see you as well. Jerry Zaks, one of the nicer people on the planet, who is a very accomplished person as well, which a lot of times that doesn't happen. Okay, so let's see. Where did this go? Okay, that's StreamYard. Okay. How do I get back to that screen? That's very interesting. Let's do this. Let's do this. StreamYard Studio. Okay. Wow. I can't seem to get back to it. All right. Let's try okay, let's move that. There we go. That's why. Let's move Instagram up to that window. And this over here. Yes. So Karen, you were filling us in on the end of your story. Let's see. There we go. So this is related to the map and you and your husband who went to college where Phil did. After circling the danger zone on the map, we ended up moving to Richmond, Virginia. Wow. 7 hours from New York. I know Richmond very well. I did a lot of stand-up comedy at Matt's British Pub in Richmond, Virginia, and then Williamsburg, Virginia as well. So they became overnight guests, which he didn't think through as well as Ray. They sometimes stayed over a week. Oh, Karen, what year was that? If you had just watched the episode, you could have prevented a lot of suffering. When I saw Frank's sweatpants, I thought that was from his birthday episode. Oh, good. That is really good. Hi, Deb Tucker, Frank. What is it like revisiting the series for the podcast years later? How long will you continue the podcast since you mentioned it's been 5 years now? I think, part of this I do for myself because I get to post pictures and explain what the pictures are. So It is a time in history where you can reach an audience of people because there are Seinfeld fans, there are people who like drag racing, there are people who like crocheting, and there are people who are like, I don't care at all about Everest Raymond. But then there are you guys who are interested in all these little tidbits, and hopefully we make it interesting. So I will keep doing it in some format or the other. I don't see me ending until I've posted every single photo, which was the motivation at the beginning, because now there's a lot of. Somebody wrote that their friend attended a filming and he said the sets were on trailers. So that myth could keep going on and on and on. So, and also I want to thank Mona. I think Mona posted for this. Mona posted Doris Roberts' Emmy acceptance speech, and she went out of her way to thank the writers. She was a really, really big moment. And I know there's a video clip of Doris describing something where, as I'm watching, I'm going, it's so interesting. She's saying this is after the show. But I want to tell the truth as somebody who was there. Because as you see, just from the reunion show has brought so much anger about the reboot, which does not exist. So if you're telling the truth in the moment and it gets distorted, imagine 10 years from now when someone's not, doesn't know what happens in that photo, et cetera. So that is my motivation to, I had no idea that this many people would be watching, which is very rewarding and also great question. So there you go, Deb. I hope that answers your question. And so I don't plan on stopping in any format until people say, please stop doing that. Final season with Deborah's hair short like that. Annabelle, are you referring to something else? Yes. So Lisa, that's the whole point. If I showed Ray's picture first, that shirt, I don't think we ever saw again. How did Phil decide which episode would serve as the series finale? So I think Phil had that idea of like season 7. He had the idea for that final episode. And then he was very nice and included us to write. I mean, we all worked on it, writing it, but he gave everybody a written by credit. But that was Phil's idea. What the whole goal, because most people love the finale, and the beauty is when people go, which episode was the finale? It's just another episode with heightened emotions. And so that was Phil's idea. Don't go outside the box of what usually is on Raymond. Now, I've never seen it, but I read some, and it's a great, Kevin James hysterical. I found a piece of trivia the other day. But the finale of King of Queens, I heard they're going to get divorced or something, or move away, or something like that. And Phil's thought was, you want to think in your head that the Barones are still living out their life after the show ends. So there you go. I hope that brings some insight into it. Hi, May May. These pictures are incredible. I'm sure you have inspired many other shows to capture peach current moments to relish in years to come. Yeah, well, Mimi, the interesting thing is there was no iPhone when we shot the show, or Seinfeld, or Mary Tyler Moore, or all of these great shows. So you didn't have any photos unless people took the Polaroids, and you generally, if you're working, you didn't have a camera with you. So I don't know how, there's some. So yes, I would hope that it inspires people to capture more photos of them, but I don't think the rare combination is that I took photos of everything and I was there from the beginning to the end. So most shows don't have writers who are there for a whole series. Are cookies, biscuits acceptable payola? Yeah, Bob, I have to figure that out. Do we start taking? Let me try. I'm going to try in the canister. There's the canister. That is a great question. I honestly have to figure that out. If I can accept cookie bribery or just cookie suggestions. There's no money involved. There's just cookies. I got to look at that. The show didn't exist yet, unfortunately. Oh my God, Williamsburg will always remind me of my in-laws because they were obsessed with going there every time they visited. My mother-in-law loved going to the Pottery Oven over and over again. The Pottery over and over again, which no longer exists apparently, and memories. We loved Richmond and lived there for 9 years. I wonder if you ever went to Match British Pub. So what she's talking about, for those of you in other countries, Williamsburg had an old colonial settlement or something, tourist attraction. So I'm assuming you're not talking about a Waffle Hut. You're talking about that portion, that area. Hi, Anne-Marie. Does everyone that's going to be on the reunion still live in LA, or did anyone move out of state? Hi, Anne Marie. So I don't know where everybody lives. Like John Manfrolotti lives in L.A. Cousin Gerard lives in L.A. Stefania, I think, Alex Mnessis lives in L.A. I think Brad is in between a couple of places. I think Patty might. They're public about this, so it's not like I'm giving away their top secret location. I think Patty splits her time maybe between England. Her husband, the dreaded Parker, is British, and Nashville, and I think Los Angeles, etc. Raymond, bi-coastal. That's what they say. So yeah, nobody's moved to Australia or New Zealand. And speaking of that, let me bring the canister up. Okay, loudness. Okay, so here, everybody, realize it's off camera. Here, the canister. Let's try another cookie. So for those of you that missed it, this is a weird sound when I talk into that. This started because Jeremy Stevens said that the Hydrox was better than the Oreos. So Phil Rosenthal said, let's do a cookie test. And so we had a day of avoiding some writing by doing that. Okay, so here we go. These have been gifted to me, folks. Punja's Tropical Cream Biscuit from Drua. It sounds like I'm making up every single thing. Wow, I've been working with my hands, and you can tell. I've been doing a lot of physical labor. Let's see, along with writing. So there you go. Let's see if it's an accurate representation. I don't know what country this is from. You guys, I have a guess, but you guys can figure it out. Hi, Kathy Pine. I got you another viewer. My much younger cousin calls me and tells me about his wife and kids, and it'll always remind me of one of the episodes. Yesterday, he told me about his twins, where one is good at sports, the other doesn't care. I then gave him a rundown of it's supposed to be fun. He's hooked. Oh, that's great. Thank you for that, Kathy. Okay, hold on. Folks, Tom Caldeviano here doing the hardest part of every Sunday, tasting a delicious cookie. Okay. Let's see this. I apologize, folks, for the hands. Let me see this. And this. There we go. Yes, look at that. Okay, let me get. I've never seen that structure in a cookie. So there you go. There's that structure. Okay, let me see. Drum roll, please. Okay, I'm going back. Hold on, let me do this. Where is that? Okay, here we go, folks. By the way, I haven't tasted a bad cookie except for what was the one I had? It was like a black licorice inside of chocolate. Does anyone in the room remember? I think my cousin Trish pointed it out for me. Okay. Tropical cream biscuit. Super tasty. Wow, I haven't had a bad cookie yet. Maybe let me taste a second one, just to be sure. I think somebody pointed out that I gave a really high rating to last week's, which was here. This was last week's, folks, which was also a bit tropical, right? Murray River Salted Caramel. Oh, no, sorry, I'm 100% wrong. Murray River Salted Caramel. I think I gave that a very high rating. It's very unique. Okay, let's see this, folks. I don't know. Does anyone know where this is from? Let me see. Yes, in the audience, Drua. Okay. Black licorice is not good if you have high blood pressure. Thank you, Mona. That's a funny thing. Okay, let me taste it again before I give my rating. Uh-oh. I'm going to give this a 7.4. It was very tasty. You taste the tropical fruit. It's a good cookie. It tastes very fresh. That helps. Tropical cream. See, it's a unique flavor. I've never had a tropical cream biscuit. And remember, the most important thing, never look at the ingredients, okay? That's words to live by. Okay, 7.4. Is that what I said? Oh, I'm going to need some coffee. Here we go. Coffee from, let's see, what quote is there? I was nice once, didn't care for it. Yes. Okay. How civil I'm being. Biscuits. All right, final questions, everybody, and comments. Let's go. Hi, Ryan. So excited for the TV special. Ryan, hello you're in Wisconsin, right? You don't have a baseball team. Wait, do you? Yeah, the Milwaukee Brewers. What am I saying? I'm thinking of Racine. You don't have a thing there. Watching Raymond. Yes, that is great. Okay, scrolling duck. Wow, let me scroll way down. I really have to catch. Imported from Fiji. Is that true? Wow. LA Soap Escape. LA Soap Escape. La Soap Escape. Can I show the canister again? Yes. Here you go. There is the canister. Super heavy metal. Extremely heavy metal. And I know this because our fork and spoon magnet sticks to it and I can't separate it. Here. I think I just have the magnet here. Let's see this. I think I've used the fork and spoon. Yes, so there's our fork and spoon magnet stuck to the 100% steel, not stainless, not aluminum. And there's our very nice thick magnet with the fork and spoon. Let me see if I can get it off. Yeah! Not as easy as I thought. So yes, no markings, custom made. You cannot find it on eBay. We've had many conversations about having this made, and we just have to figure it out how to make it. From Fiji. Well, I got to thank my friend for coming from Fiji, which was very nice stopping there. I'm currently experiencing a gully washer here, but that's okay because we need the rain. Gully washer. Never heard that in my life, Kim, from Mississippi. I'm reading Ray's book, Everything in a Kite. Oh, my God. He quoted comedies like sex. The more noise you hear, the better you think you're doing. Yes, Raymond's book that he wrote in season 3, Everything in a Kite, a phrase that he said. So that's very indicative of Ray's humor. Brad Garrett's book, which is called When the Balls Drop. I took the cover photo for that, which is very nice of Brad to get me that gig. His is a much dirtier, more, what am I say? I can't, dirtier, rougher. I'm trying to say he pulls back the curtain on a lot of things in life. Hysterical book, Brad Garrett, very much like their acts. Hi, Maymay. Is the canister at the exhibit a copy of this or the original? So there were 4 or 5 canisters. So it's the original. Maymay, it is the original. So it's the exact same. If you put them side by side, Rhonda had to make the exact same ones. Okay, and Kim, you hate licorice. Noted. Very good to know. Hi, Bob. Pineapple taste? I don't know pineapple. Tropical. Hard to pin it. I don't think I have a sophisticated thing. Okay, Karen, since you took the time to write all this, I'm going to bring this up. Whoops. Okay, let me go here. Let me go back here. Here we go, Karen. The rest of the in-law story is that for the entire time we lived in Richmond, they talked about moving there as well. Oi. And they tortured realtors in the area for 9 years. There is probably a poster in some realty office that has a picture of a red line through it. P.S. They never did move there. They just ended up moving from Queens to Long Island. Okay, so you dodged a bullet, but at least they kept you on your toes and really what do I say? Forced you to suffer without having to do a lot of relocation. That was very, very nice of them. All right, folks, going to Instagram here. Okay. You need a stage set. All of this behind you. You need a stage set. All of this behind you. Okay. Are you saying you would like me to be on a set, on a stage, and have that behind me? Yes, a Tim Tam Slam, everybody. That's where you, I believe, bite the corner of it off and try and suck milk through it. Is that correct? Or hot coffee or something? Stuff like that. The canister. We'll get a bigger table for the whole family to sit for the reunion. Ray should comment. I really do have English mastered. The lady awaits is pitching for the last lines. We'll get a bigger table for the whole family to sit. For the reunion, Ray should comment, we got a bigger table, family around the table. That's actually a good idea. And I'm not saying it's far off from what is happening, but I don't know that it'll happen at a table. So excellent telethinking, as we would say, which is a way of when we would save $100,000 by doing something. Excellent telethinking. We've just saved a lot of money. Okay, great. Caught up completely. All right, see you guys. Let's see, next week. I have a very busy schedule coming up. It's filming the 18th. I think I have to go to a wedding next weekend. I saw Raymond last night. I'm going to see Raymond tonight as well, doing some stuff. So I'm going to try and join next week. I can't join the week after, but we will figure it out. And we'll pick a date for the watch party and figure out what to do to have a watch party, which would be phenomenal. All right, everybody, have a good week. Thank you for all of your comments. I love it when you guys jump in and answer for me. For those of you that know the show as well as anybody, I really do appreciate it. And thank you for commenting that it is a reunion and not a reboot, and telling people to calm down, please, etc. All right, thank you so much. See you guys next week.